real, and it only gets realer from here. But first, I want to give a shout out to all my fellow Pisceans out there. Gang, you all already know we in the building. Also want to give a shout out to all my 2 2s and my 3 3s and my 2 2 2s and my 3 3 3s and my 7 7 7s. And shout out to any other angelical numerical numbers that I may have forgot to mention. I also want to thank everybody for coming out to support the channel. Thank you, and those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell notification to be notified of my upcoming videos and content. And we're going to jump right in. So let's talk about forgiveness. Do Pisces forgive? See, because if you think a Pisces forgives, it could go either way. See, because 9 times 10, no, we don't. We just disappear differently. See, so a lot of times it's because you broke our trust, you lied, you played in our face, and we feel it every moment and every intention. See, but here's the thing: we don't argue. We just and we don't chase. See, we just move on from the situation, stronger, silent, and untouchable. So it's not, like I say, evolved Pisces forgive, but most Pisces don't forgive. See, they just move different from, thence on. So they could be silent, but yet powerful at the same time, and what become forever untouchable. Now, here's the thing, okay, is that there's a breaking point. There's an emotional current that happens with most Pisces, is that it's the depth of how deep the situation is that makes the forgiveness hard in the first place. See, because of how a situation was done. So it's like a painting, how it starts off, usually it takes a Pisces a long time to process it, to determine whether or not the apology or someone basically trying to squash the issue is like, well, do they really mean it? And the problem is, it's better for you to walk away. I would tell you it's better to forgive, but not run it back, if that makes sense. Because you don't want to be holding on to the pain, letting it linger longer than most signs would. So that's something, to keep in mind. Like with some particular situations, you have to make a decisive decision. You got to be decisive. You got to make decisions. That happened to me earlier today. It's the same story I told you guys yesterday. I was able to just cut them off. My intuition ended up telling me that they both was trying to set me up. They both was trying to scam me at the same time. See? So she said her husband was at work. I don't believe he was at work. I think he was there the whole time, and that he basically let her go over to my house to do the interior decorating, and that all of that fell through because it was a catch to it the whole time. See, as soon as I denied, he wanted to buy something from me, and I said no, and he was trying to lowball me and calling me all kind of names and stuff, and it was all because I had been talking to his wife for quite some time. See, and I didn't want her. I wasn't trying to talk to her or anything like on those terms. It was strictly business purposes only. So it ended up turning into a mess, because sometimes you got to be careful, because especially when you're dealing with a zodiac sign such as Scorpio, you can't be too vulnerable, if that's the best word that I could come up with. You cannot show any sort of tenderheartedness as if it was easy just to do that with Scorpio. I'm talking about dark side Scorpio women. See, and you won't find out she's dark sided until after you catch on to what she was actually doing. You see, because a Scorpio woman gives off this magnetic presence to where you will feel like you could talk to this person about anything, right? But you don't understand with Scorpio women is that their boundaries are controlled. See, so they don't allow themselves to open up easily just by those little love, those comforting words. See, if a Pisces hears that same, you know, that same emotion, a Pisces will start to feel comfortable with sharing. As I mentioned, you have to be careful because there's a such thing as oversharing. See, but you got to understand with Scorpio, dark side, they could get you to drop your guard. See, and they can tell you things that are not true just to get you to, relax. Let me see. Diane, welcome everyone that just came in. Diane Reynolds was the question. Colleen Rose, welcome. Yeah, everything happened the last 2 days. So like, okay, put it like this. I'll rehash what happened yesterday, and it's actually 2 days ago. So I met this Pisces man, right? And he was cool. Just, at first he was cool. Didn't really, even before I even knew he was a Pisces, it was like, didn't really show me no signs of something for me to be thinking, worried about or thinking about. And then he introduced me to his Scorpio wife. See, so I'm like, wow, what a beautiful couple. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. You got a Pisces man and you got a Scorpio woman. And then it was just like, he kept doing stuff in front of me to get me to see him like doing just like, it's like insecure stuff that I was seeing him do that I felt like he's only doing it to impress her, or he's trying to feel better about his situation. Because you got to understand, if a Scorpio woman dark sided is with someone, 9 times out of 10, that relationship ain't on no damn peaceful from the day-to-day experience. No, it's not. 9 times out of 10, you will be inflicted upon. You may have wounds that haven't healed yet, but hey, let the Pisces tell it. He ain't gonna show that weakness, and he's not gonna be willing to show that he's been wounded. See, so fast forward, he's like cussing me out because what I came up with is that his girl told him how long we had talked. See, we was on the phone for a minute. We was on the phone for like 4 hours. And I know it sounds like damn real, like you was caking it up with this person. But yeah, I mean, so Butler Deliver said, how would you know if a relationship is toxic? Basically, you'll know if a relationship is toxic if like a person is like it's always some BS, it's always some changes. It's like you don't really like the person, but then you get with them and then it's like you guys go through the same episode, like the same drama, the same bull crap, just a different day. But it's like a lot of times when it's toxic, it's like that person that brings the bad side out of you to where it's like you guys can never really have nothing together. And it's like at the same time you feel inseparable, like you just can't leave the person because of how toxic it, because some people look at the toxicity as entertainment. So they'll actually stay in a situation because they still get that emotional excitement from the situation. Now, let me see. Ingrid said, what about a Pisces woman that was born on leap year? I mean, it all depends. It shouldn't really affect a Pisces woman too much, but I actually got that in my notes. Actually, let me see. Because it all depends. You never can really say something will be, a certain way, because it's always forever changing. So, um, let me look in my notes, see if I got something for that. Let me check. Yeah, so okay, so are you referring to like February 29th, right? That would be like the leap year. But pretty much it all depends on the connection with the events or whatnot in this energy. So I would need more information, because it's pretty much like it could be the personality traits from, all depending on a situation in this energy. Now, let me see. So yeah, I want to give you a precise answer. I don't want to just give you something where it's not precise. So yeah. Now, what's going on, Anna? Welcome. So what we're really talking about is basically the okay, so let me get back on it. So okay, the forgiveness. Okay, so a Pisces, like I say, can really hold a grudge, but it's not like Scorpio. It's more like a Pisces just refuses to show those gestures of, oh, I forgave you. And even if they forgive you, they might not still even come around you. You see, because I put it like this: the first instinct for a Pisces is to escape. See, is to leave the situation, no closure. That's more healthy for a Pisces anyway. They feel better by just leaving, just dropping what they're doing and just moving on. So that's why I say a Pisces may not forgive, but instead they may move differently from thence on. See, it's still silent and it's still powerful at the same times, because now people can't. Now you got the power, and you're forever untouchable. See, you gotta understand, people oftentimes crave a reaction. And if they know the friendship is over, that is the one thing they still want from you. See? And that is because people people don't like rejection. So if you cut the cord with someone because you've had enough, it's like it's better to just do it and just, block them, and you'll never have to hear from them ever again. But sometimes it's not that easy, because you got some people that try to they try to force themselves on you, even though they know you're done, or they try to get the closure. They want to know, oh, is it something you're mad about that I did to you? And it's like, nah, it's just because it takes a lot of energy to trust someone. And then when you realize that you couldn't trust them, it's kind of like it gives you this type of paradox where, in your mind, it's like, yo, why am I trusting the wrong people? See, that could be hard on the Pisces emotions, and literally it can make them feel like, well, damn, maybe I need to not do this right now. Maybe I need to stop focusing on this right now. But I'm here to tell you, Pisces, is not your fault. It's because like people need healing, and you attract people that need healing often. So it's like the very thing of how they betrayed you, or how they did you wrong, that is the same area that they need healing. See? And it's like they need that cycle to be ended. And this is why they have came, this is why they were brought to you. And the funny thing is, you might feel like you have nothing to give these people. See? And it's because you don't. But what you have to give them is the healing. See? And that could just be you calling out their BS and saying, hey, you need to stop lying, or you need to stop doing these behaviors, because it's going to get you nowhere. Now, another thing is okay, so let me talk about and like I say, once that trust is broken, it's impossible to restore it. It's like once you lose trust, it's one thing about respect, loyalty, and all those things, but if you lose the trust, you're cooked. See? So that can make a Pisces, internalize that moment to where it's almost like they'll do that before they start processing everything. So the problem with a Pisces having to, space out or take time aside to isolate themselves from what just happened is because pain, like I say, pain lingers. If you do not utilize or distinguish that type of emotion, it's going to wear on you. See, it's like a cloak. It's just going to wear you down because you got to do something with that pain. You got to transmute it. So that way you could get, turn it into a good thing instead of being, instead of becoming destructive. So, because you got to understand how it was given to you was by a person that they misused it. See, they used the pain that they felt to hurt you in the way that they projected it onto you. That's why you feel it so heavy. See, that's why you feel it because it was intended to hurt you. But if you take the pain and then you say, okay, I'm gonna use this pain and break this down as energy, that would be the motivation. See, it could be motivation for me to go do something productive, something positive. See, so you got to be somewhat optimistic when you are projected upon because this is the thing, that energy, you don't recognize it because if you are the type of person that have, I'll say this, for the most part, you could be a good person with good intentions. And then all of a sudden somebody tries to, unload on you. And then all of a sudden it's like they've bombarded you with all this negative energy and you absolutely don't even understand like or have any clue of how to deal with it, how to use it. So then you're just sitting on all this energy, and that's why people end up crashing out. See? And that's exactly what that was, that's the whole reason why that person projected onto you, because that was what they were feeling. And they had to throw it at somebody else. See? So if you receive it, then you absorb it. Problem is once you realize that it's not your own energy, it's extra energy, all you got to do is break it down, see, alchemize it, and turn it into something positive. Now, one thing about a Pisces is they remember your actions. See, it's like you came over and you didn't speak, or you came over my house and you didn't take your shoes off, you were loud, you tried to smoke in the house when I don't, when you put it like this, people, the reason why you remember actions more than anything is because of boundaries. See, it's like one thing you don't want to do with a Pisces is don't touch their stuff, bro. Like, because this is the thing, sometimes a person doesn't even see, they don't even see a Pisces boundary. They don't even see a Pisces boundary. They're like, yo, I didn't even know that was a rule, but I broke it. See, it's like, oh, like, cause listen, a Pisces, this is what a Pisces can do. A Pisces can have their phone, right? And then they can set it on the counter, boom. And they can have their phone in that specific place. And they set a boundary like, nobody better grab my phone. I'm setting it right here. Let's say you come into the room and you literally grab the phone and throw it on the bed or something. The Pisces will literally sit there and look at you with those evil eyes and be like, yo, why did you grab my phone? Like, what are you touching my stuff for? Like, I put my phone here for a reason, and you don't even realize that was something that you shouldn't have done because you didn't see the boundary. See, a Pisces oftentimes is quiet, silent. So you think, oh, when a Pisces is quiet like that, you think it's an opportunity to initiate. You think it's an opportunity to talk to the Pisces or get close up on them. So sometimes that's why I said it could be the illusion that a Pisces is silent, but at the same time, you don't even see the boundaries because you're so focused on the silence of a Pisces. That makes sense. Some people are just so quick to disturb you, where it's like, oh, you're so self-controlled right now and so quiet that, hey, I want to, make noise and I want to bother you. And then all of a sudden the Pisces is like, look, I don't want to be bothered. And it's like, it's all until you cross the line. See? So forgiving is superficial for Pisces. So, because put it like this, when it comes to my, me just giving sound, my honest advice, yes, you should forgive and not hold a grudge. But I'm just telling you guys that you can't expect everybody to do the same, because forgiving could be superficial to a Pisces, because now it feels like you're excusing the actions that just took place. Because if I say, oh, you just punched me in my face, and I say, oh yeah, I forgive you, man, without processing everything that just happened first, then a Pisces is like, well, hey, that feels more hollow and unrealistic. See? So it's almost like a Pisces will rather detach from the whole equation because of people that think like that think, oh, it was just a mistake. No, it wasn't. So it's okay for you to go around and slapping people and saying you're sorry. Okay, let me do that. But then I'll be the victim. See, I'll be the one to get thrown in jail. I'll be the one taking on everything that everybody else did. See, and that's not fair. So Pisces knows the biggest thing to do is to say, I'm out of here. Is to escape. See, and even when you look at Machiavellian tactics, if you ever notice what he oftentimes says to do is to leave, detach, and you always win. You always are in a powerful spot when you just detach. See, you block the person, I'm gonna tell you what you're doing. You're not tolerating it. See, you're like, okay, you didn't slap me across the face. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, all right, I get that. But guess what? You can't come over no more. See, I've took your access away. You will no longer be able to do that same thing you did. And you can be sorry, but guess what? You're not allowed to come back over. See, or we're not cool anymore, and we won't be cool. But see, a Pisces knows to not give the reaction verbally, because as soon as you show the reaction, now who's in control? Because one person showed what? Submissiveness. When you react, you show, it's almost like you're surrendering. When you react, that shows that, oh, the other person has took the advantage. Everybody that reacts always loses. Just like if you used to lose, oh man, what the hell? Oh no, man. And then it's like as soon as you start to get emotional, you've already lost. Your masculinity is already taken, it's already gone. When you react emotionally, you instantly drop everything on it, literally fall like you having a meltdown. You end up losing control. And then all of a sudden, that person sees that, oh, they got to you. See? Because because what I'm gonna tell you, when a person gets emotional, they show that they have no what? They show they have no type of self-control. They have no respect for themselves. So they just if a person just start just giving you all those cuss words and just start, getting emotional and son of a bee and this and that, bro, you've won. See? And that's the thing. Once they become submissive to you, now you have to leave, because now you gotta understand, if you don't want to deal with that, because now this person is going to try to win you back. See? Ain't nobody gonna let somebody make them into a bitch and then just get away with it. So why should I? See? So you say you sorry, but then you're still trying to come back and trying to be the dominant one in the situation, but you want me to give you another chance, see, at doing just that. So that's why Pisces will look at the situation as being superficial, see? Now, because here's the thing, a Pisces will rather you own it. If you the type of person goes around slapping people, wear that jersey. Change your last name to Slapperoni, whatever, right? Change your name, own it, be authentic. We can respect that, but here's the thing. We would rather you be authentic, because we put it like this: the hell with reconciliation. Because that's like, say you in a marriage and then you and your girl having issues, y'all not getting along, and then she's like, oh, I want a divorce. And then you like, well, hold on. What do you mean you want a divorce? How we got to go get counseling. We got to work this out. She's like, no, I want a damn divorce. And then all of a sudden, once she calms down and then once she realizes that, oh, she's sorry for, being quick to throw in the towel. Oh, now we're going to reconcile. Now we're going to get back. Like, you waste all that energy just to say, okay, well, hey, because I'm going to tell you what you're doing. When you try to use reconciliation for the situation, that's an excuse for your behavior, see? Instead of you just being authentic and owning the bad behavior, see? So that's the thing. So, and another thing is this, with empathy. See, if a Pisces can give empathy, they can sure feel it as well. So a Pisces empathy, that allows them to see why someone hurt them in the first place. See, you be thinking that people think Pisces don't know what people are doing. And it's like, when you hurt a Pisces knows exactly why you did it. And then you wonder why a Pisces is not buying your, oh, I'm sorry. No, you're not even sorry. How can you slap me across my face and say I'm sorry when you haven't even processed the whole mere fact of why you slapped me in the first damn place? See? So that's why I say you can play that game with someone else. And here's the thing. When that empathy allows you to see why they slapped you in the first place, it allows you, Pisces, to not excuse it. Because if you excuse it so fast in a hurry without processing it, now the person sees you as what? Submissive. See? Because now you're not playing by the rules of the world. You're not playing by the realistic rules. It's cold-blooded. The core principles to life. That's kind of like saying, eat your vegetables or there's no dessert. You will say that to your children, because you notice that they'll try to skip eating their vegetables so they can get the ice cream. So it's like, hey, until you finish the vegetables, you're not getting any ice cream. But could you imagine your kids coming up to you and saying, oh, mama, I ate all my vegetables. Ice cream. But you didn't see them. You didn't even see them eat it. They just came and told you because you wasn't in the kitchen. It's like you just can't excuse something. You have to process everything first. Process the fact the kid ate the vegetables first to know that, oh, he's ready for ice cream. But if you didn't see it and he could just say anything, people could say, I'm sorry, and you don't process it. They're not, you ask yourself, what is he sorry for it? Because it just happened, right? If you just got slapped and he says, I'm sorry, there's no way you're sorry. Why the hell? Like, and it's like somebody slap you like, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I won't do it again. It's like, bro, you ain't even processed that. You haven't even processed what you just did that quick, bro. You got to have, see, and what you got to do, you got to push people off of you, not physically, but mentally show them like you're not in control of how I process things. See? So you're not going to just be able to say, I'm sorry 1,000 times and I'll make it up and hey, you know, nope. Nope, because that's not how I process things. How I process things is chopping block. You're getting blocked. I'm not talking to you no more, and I'm gone. Detach. See? So, and when a Pisces detach emotionally, that's what they're doing. You wonder why a Pisces is quick to detach emotionally. It's almost like a Pisces knows you're going to try to apologize. And they're not allowing you to be able to reach them, see? Because that keeps them in control. It's cold-blooded. So who gets submissive? See, the one that's chasing the Pisces trying to what? Trying to negotiate, trying to reason. See, now they're in a begging state. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Please, 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 please. I'll do anything. See how they're at a low point, but they was just this tough and confident. See, they had all that confidence to slap you or betray you, but now they're begging. See, so that's why you can't trust. You can't just forgive everybody. Put it like this. You can forgive. The whole point of forgiveness is that you don't hold on to the hurt. So you should forgive and forget, but don't give them another chance. Nope. Because people are, put it like this, people know what they're doing. They just want to see what else, what can they get away with. See? So, because how many times has a person committed a heinous act and tried to, go before the judge and say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry what I did to your daughter. And yeah, I lost my damn mind. And it's like, dude, you did that girl bogus. And you saying you sorry before the judge, bro? Hell no. See, you can't just get off a 20-year sentence just because you said I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that. See, like you did what you did because that was your intentions. See, so you must be held accountable. So another thing is, okay, so another thing, when a Pisces leaves from a situation, a Pisces is not even in the situation anymore. See, the intuition is what guides the Pisces response in the first place. So a Pisces can really just be in the moment, and then all of a sudden they get emotionally overloaded with the whole idea of what just happened. That the intuition is the compass, is the guide that says, come on, Pisces, we going this way. We leaving the situation. See, because the Pisces can sense when someone isn't truly sorry in the first place. And the last thing a Pisces wants to do is to allow you to get close up on them with all that emotion and all that hollering and all that, hey man, hey man, hey man, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. And see, the Pisces is not even hearing you. The intuition is telling the Pisces that you're full of it, see? And here's the thing, the gut rarely lies. And that's where the intuition speaks to you. So your body always reacts first. So your gut rarely lies. And guess what? the Pisces feels the deceit immediately. And that's the thing. Once the intuition shows the Pisces that you're full of shit, guess what? There is no reason for a Pisces to face you. No. See? Because you got to be 10 steps ahead of the adversary anyway. So just like they don't want you to know why they did it, because it was intentional. And hey, when you leave and you disappear, it was intentional. See, I don't have to explain why I left the way I did. See, now, another thing is a Pisces reads energy, not words. See, and how your energy entered the whole environment in the first place. A Pisces looking at your energy, not what you're saying. See, because what you're saying is strategic. Your energy, that's gonna follow you wherever you go. See, but that's the thing. That's the thing. If you're not aware of your bad energy, you're in big trouble. Because you gotta understand, if somebody comes in the room and they have bad energy, why do you think everybody keeps leaving? Why do you think people find something to do than sit there in that shit? It's like a person will rather go play with a bag of oranges than sit there and just like entertain your negative bad energy. That's just how annoying bad energy can be. Like somebody will really go play with a fidget spinner. They'll go do something that don't make sense just to have a way of escape from that situation. That's just how it is. But you don't understand why people don't say nothing. They just get up and leave. They'll find a way. Hey man, I'm gonna go for a smoke. And you don't be knowing these untimely, oh, let me go, hey, I'm gonna go have a smoke. I'll be right back. Do you really think they want to go outside and smoke? Or just to get the hell away from you because your energy? See, it's stressing them out. Nine times out of 10, the people that leave you and say, hey man, I'm go out for a smoke, they don't want to be in there with you. And they not gonna tell you that, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's what you can't see, bro. And then it's so crazy because listen, if somebody gotta tell you, hey man, I'm gonna go outside for a smoke, it's almost like, well, now are you asking me for permission to go to dismiss you? See, you gotta hear this. You have to be aware, fam, fully aware. Because when people say things like that, all they're hitting around is that, hey man, I don't like the way this feels right now. See, instead of you holding me hostage, let me go out and have a smoke. See? Yeah, so yeah. Okay, so another thing with the intuition, how a guy's a Pisces response is that a Pisces pays attention to subtle patterns. See? So it's not even just your energy. It's not even, hey, it's nothing to do with the words. Welcome, Misty. How you doing? Welcome everybody that just came in. So it's like the Pisces noticed the subtle patterns. And guess what? It's not even just your behavior. It's the pattern of betrayals. See, because you got to look at it. If a person, I'm going to tell you a true story. I knew this one guy, right? And he always told me he had no friends, no friends. Hey man, I wish, hey man, I have no friends. I have nobody. It's just me. And then I'm like, yo, well, as I'm hearing him say this, it's almost like to me, he sounds selfish. Because he said, oh, it's just me, man. I have no friends. Hey man, it's just me. And I'm hearing it differently. He thinks that I'm actually listening to him and I'm not. See, I'm looking at his energy. And then it's like, after he started talking to me and the things he was trying to sell me the story, like, oh, he's the victim and hey, this and this, and people took advantage. And then all of a sudden I'm like, no, your energy, bro, I'm even feeling it. And hey, I ain't staying. See, it's just like, I'm only going to be here about 5 minutes and I'm leaving too. Because listen, if somebody shares the mere fact that they have no friends, that's not something that you would even want to discuss with someone that you just met. See, or that, hey, you haven't known that long, to tell them that. And then it's almost like, if you're trying to convince me to be your friend because you have no friends, no, that's a red flag. See, because some people that's the thing, like, people do not want you to know the real them. So they have to blame somebody else that's not even there to defend themselves, because there's two sides to a story. See? And it's like, you can't just listen to one side. So if someone tries to convince you to just take their side of the story, they're using deception. Because that's what deception is. Deception is me getting you to believe just one thing. See, is just focusing on that, and then the person comes left field with something totally different than what they said. So then it catches you off guard. Now, another thing is this. So a Pisces will instinctively want to protect their peace is why they leave the situation, only to what? Never return. See, that's because a Pisces needs healing. Now, they got to heal from, once they process everything, then they got to heal from it. See, so another thing too is that a Pisces can detect the manipulative behavior quickly. And it comes from what? The response comes from the intuition. The intuition will let Pisces know if someone is being manipulative. Because listen, okay, you can't manipulate without already having control of that person. See? So I'm gonna tell you, and the only way you can have control over someone is through what? Influence. So if your influence is that strong on a person where they can't think for themselves, they rely on you to move. Hey, you say jump, how high? You pretty much, this person depends fully on you for everything. So if your influence is that strong and you have that stronghold on that person to where they can't think for themselves, they rely on you for it. Now, that's when because that's the thing. People, manipulators, they don't instantly just manipulate people. That's not how it works. They test you. See, they test you to see whether or not you trust them. See, and like a snake, they sneak it in to where, oh, you thinking that you helping them out. They can say, hey man, you want to make some money? Hey, I got a job. We can put a transmission for the neighbor. You ain't even got to know how to put the transmission in. I just need another pair of hands. And then a person that's like a yes man, he doesn't question it. He doesn't even think for himself. He just believes everything his friend says. So his friend says, hey man, you don't have to have no experience. You could just come help me put the transmission in. Dude agrees to it. Now both of them go to the dude's house to put the transmission in, and it's taking them forever. And the guy's like, well, hey, am I, how much are we gonna make here? They're both sweating because they don't even know what tools to use. They're stripping everything and they're pounding and trying to get the bolts off with the wrong tools. They're sweating, sweat coming down their faces. And then the friend, because this is the thing, you could feel manipulation. You could feel like, oh man, I done effed up. I don't even know if I'm gonna get paid for this. But it's too late. See, that's how you know when you are being manipulated, you start to come to your senses eventually when you start thinking for yourself, right? Then you say to yourself, wait a minute, I'm sweating, I'm tired, and we still ain't got this transmission out. And now you want to think about the pay. And you're like, wait a minute, how much are we going to, hey, how much is my cut? And then you know what that friend that manipulates you says? Hey man, we won't find out until we're done, bro. So hey, if you quit, then you're not getting anything. See, because I did all the work. And you like, wait a minute. I helped you start this thing, and now you telling me if I quit, I ain't getting nothing. So then he controls you by making you work twice as hard. See? So you get, left out. But once he gets that transmission out, right? I mean, once he gets the bolts in the situation, he's almost done. And then guess what? You ask for, oh, hey man, where's my cut? Right? And then the manipulator says, well, hey man, hey, here's $20. And the guy's like, $20? Bro was out there all day doing this. And the guy's like, yo, I didn't say I was gonna, you agreed. I didn't tell you that you were even gonna get paid for it. I just told you, hey man, somebody needs a transmission, come with me. We need another pair of hands. I never told you I was paying you. And that's why I always say, like, bro, you can't, when somebody wants you to help them, make sure you get what you want out of the situation and that it works for you. See, don't go along with his agenda and what he got going on. You demand a price. Well, hey man, if you want me to help, I need 200 flat. And it's gotta be on the floor. I need it right now. Or give me half. I ain't even putting my hands on nothing until I get half of it. See, that cuts the put it like that. That makes the manipulator second guess the whole situation. He sees, he sees you're not stupid, and his game won't work on you. So then he even just tells you, hey man, just forget it. He said, hey man, just forget it, man. I'll do it. I'll find somebody else. See, and that's what you want to do. Now, and this is the thing. What you're really doing is you're seeing through the illusion. See? And then all of a sudden, if you look very closely, you'll see the truth and say, damn, this ain't even my friend. You just rolling around with somebody that don't give a damn about you, right? Now, another thing is, why would a Pisces move on from a situation? Because it's safer. Because listen, when there's no closure, a person doesn't really know why you left. You never told them it was about the drama, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, right? You just left. So now, guess what happens? Guess what happens to them? They have to self-reflect. They have to look in the mirror. Hey man, why did he leave? Why did he block me? Oh, it must have been about when I lied about. See, and then what happens is the guilt sets in. See, the guilt sets in into that person to where they realize that, hey, they got to have a cover up for whatever they did. And when you cut them off, now their heart start racing. They start getting worried. They start feeling sick because they know their intentions wasn't right the whole time. It's almost like they exposed themselves. So when moving on is safer. That way now the person is, hey, now they want to get the hell away from you based on what you know. See? Because they don't want to be exposed. So they end up doing you a favor anyway. So it's best to just leave the situation. Now, a Pisces can sense repeating cycles. That's why you don't get a second chance. See? Because we recognize that life is all about routine. Every day you gotta wash it, wash your tail, brush your teeth, and it becomes a routine of, hygiene. So basically we know that if you've been used to doing these different things, these different patterns, you're gonna keep doing it. What's gonna make you stop because of me, right? At this particular time. Now, a Pisces will not fall for it twice. See, a Pisces is like, nope, you're going to do it again. I'm not even going to, we're not repeating. We're not doing this again. Because it's like this. If you don't learn the lesson, then what do they say? You must take the test again. And if you fail again, what must happen? You must take the test again. So we know that the cycle repeats itself. And it's only every time you don't listen, you got to go through that same test again. Because it's every experience is a life lesson to a Pisces. Now, another thing, I'm gonna tell you the best way to avoid toxicity. See, the best way to avoid toxicity is to disengage. See, you can't even touch something toxic. You can't even borrow time. You can't even just, hey, I'm just hanging around. Nope. That's just how contagious and listen, even if you have friends that are toxic, could you imagine you can't even hang with them? What good would it be for you to be outside your friend's house and you know he's toxic? Every time you are around him, he wants you to do illegal things. He wants you to go do, hey man, go to the store and steal me, four woods, bro. Hey man, take my ID. I ain't old enough to get the cigarettes, and you go get them. It's like when a person is toxic, bro, they can't do nothing right, bro. Hanging with them is gonna make you get in trouble, bro. And that's how it goes. So if you know that, why do you continue to hang with that person? Well, I'm not going to be in the house with him. I'm just going over there and sitting on the porch. Bro, even if you sitting on the porch, he can still, his toxicity is so flamboyant, fam. He will suck you right into the trap. You on the porch. He can have a shootout with somebody. Now you get popped because you're on the porch. People looking for him, they hit you. See, that's why I say you can't be hanging with people that's toxic and thinking that, oh, you good and hey, nothing ain't gonna happen to you. Nope. Because I'm gonna tell you what's stronger to a Pisces is their feelings. See, a Pisces would rather trust their feelings than apologies. See, because apology has nothing to do with the Pisces. Your apologies have nothing to do with the other person. That's your processing. That's your way out. That's something to make you feel better, at ease, and comfortable. That ain't got nothing to do with the Pisces. That's why I say you have to have your own processing. You got to have your own way. And that requires you to disengage. That requires you to detach. While you over there apologizing, I'm trusting how I feel right now. And right now I don't feel comfortable talking to you anymore. See what I'm saying? So that's why Pisces just leave and don't come back. Because you understand, I know y'all heard the saying, if you leave the hood, you cannot go back, bro. You cannot go back. You are not welcome anymore, bro. And that's how it is. So once you leave, you detach. You're done. There's no more back and forth. The cycle is cut. Hey, it's cut in half. It's over with. Ain't no revisiting. Ain't no, hey man, come back. I'm sorry. Ain't nope. See? Now, a person will apologize after knowing that the first wave of attack didn't work. And that's why they apologize, because they want a second attempt. They're like, wait a minute. What I just didn't work. Hey man, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. I'll never do it again. And they trying to get close up on you to make sure you go down that second time. See? That's why you don't even give them a chance at hurting you again, bro. Like if somebody do something like bogus and they fail at it, oh, they gonna pull the I'm sorry, but they gonna try to come back, hey, being more prepared. See? Because they didn't get you the first time. Because they wouldn't have never done it. If they put it like this, a real friend, a real person that really, F with you, they not going to have them type of ill will intentions against you. Nope. They ain't even going to do it. Now, that's why they say a best friend could be a dog, to a person, because it's like, oh, a dog ain't finna hurt you. A dog is loyal as all get out. So if that's your dog, he not even gonna he not gonna do that to you. See, you ain't even gotta worry about it. Now, if somebody does it, it's because they wanted to do that behavior. They wanted to do you shiesty. They wanted to hurt you. See? So they're not sorry. Now, another thing is a Pisces would rather move differently. See? Instead of confrontation. Because remember I said, when you use confrontation, what is going to show? Emotions. Who loses? The one that got emotional. Because now the controller sees his influence is bothering you. See? And knows he's bothering you just by being present. It's cold-blooded. As long as somebody you can't stand is sitting right next to you, bro. Now you see how the energy, you responding to his energy or her energy. They ain't even got to say nothing. Their energy speaks for itself. As soon as they arrive, you like, bro, I don't even feel comfortable. I'm finna go. You wonder why you say that. Because that person has a strong influence when they walk in the room. But what you should do is say, hey, I don't fuck with you. I don't like you. And I never will. You could come in, you could come right here in my face like this, and guess what? I ain't leaving. I already know I don't F with you. See, because I'm being authentic about it. And that reality, what did I say? That reality destroys the whole illusion of you trying to fool me or you trying to make me do something. Because what am I doing? I'm controlling my movement. I'm not moved by your energy. Nope. See, the wind is the only thing that can blow me from side to side. But hey, I'm not moving by somebody just come in because, everybody think that this person is ruthless because, of what they may have done or what they may have said. But no. So the movement is better to move in such a way, even if you have to move differently, instead of confrontation, because you have to reclaim your power. You got to reclaim your energy. So a Pisces will rather ghost you silently to reclaim their energy. See? Because you don't know where it's coming from. Now, Another thing is a Pisces knows that they have to stop sharing their updates, their life updates with you. See, because when y'all was friends, you would hear the updates. Hey, I'm doing this, I'm going here, I'm visiting, I'm going out for lunch here, I'm doing this, right? But a Pisces will stop sharing life updates with those who hurt them. See, you ain't gonna get no update about nothing. Now, another thing is a Pisces will reduce the exposure to people who betray them. See, listen, the funny thing is why I'm not saying this out of arrogance, but a Pisces could be the one who uplifted you, okay? It's like you think you shining because you did something. You don't realize the Pisces has made you become more like yourself, right? Until you hurt the Pisces and forget where you came from. Now you feel back how you felt before the healing started. So now you're basically unheard of. Once the Pisces pull away from you, you ain't got nothing. See? So the whole thing I'm saying here is that even if a Pisces is hurt, no confrontation. And most people would think, oh man, the Pisces is suffering. I know he's hurt by that. But Pisces knows one thing, is that Pisces is the master. See, the Pisces is the master of silent boundaries, okay? That's why you don't know where they are. Because listen, a Pisces has creativity, okay? So a Pisces knows that let me create something, see, pertaining to my boundaries of which others can't see. Because a Pisces wants you in the position of what? Being emotional. This is why you can't manipulate a Pisces. A Pisces sets creatively their boundaries just like a painting. See? Artwork. And what Pisces does purposely sets those silent boundaries of which no one knows where they are, because as soon as you come across a Pisces boundary, guess what happens? You question yourself. Why are you questioning yourself? Because the mirror. See, the mirror is the cosmic mirror is what people see in order to even know that they did something wrong, but they don't even understand why, because they didn't see the damn boundary. They didn't see the mirror. See? So then they start to feel like, oh, wait a minute. You mean to tell me this damn dude got boundaries? As nice as he is? Remember yesterday I said, nice guys finish last, but you think the man is, hey, you don't even see that the whole niceness is an illusion. So people say, oh man, this dude all nice and calm and relaxed, but he got the nerve to have some damn boundaries. But then a Pisces like, look, man, that's for you to figure out. But I'm finna move on from this. See? So that makes people question themselves. They come across those boundaries and realize that, wait a minute, I'm surrounded by boundaries? Because the whole thing is this. People think Pisces ain't got no boundaries. It's like they think they could just do whatever the hell they want to do with the Pisces. And then they end up finding themselves locked up, becoming a prisoner of something they didn't even know existed. I know, man, listen, I know a lady, a Pisces woman. Man, listen, her job did some illegal shit. And she works in the prisons. Okay? Man, listen. They thought they was playing with a guppy, a damn goldfish, bro, she sued them, bro. And she literally doesn't look like the type to sue anybody because she looks like a little old lady. Feel sorry for everybody that thought she was sweet. It ain't never sweet with no Pisces. It is never sweet. That one Pisces that you see that looks small, like she wouldn't hurt a fly, that would be the same lady that will sue the hell out of you. That, man, I seen this with my own two eyes, and I was like, yo, she sued them and she won, bro. I'm like, dog, that's cold-blooded, bro, because literally, she doesn't look like that. She doesn't give off anything like, oh, no ruthlessness, no type of, like, aggression, no kind of, like, you know, she's nice as pie. I know. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's a new one right there. Nice as pie. Yeah, so yeah, I'm like, okay. That's why you can't go, listen, when you dealing with Pisces, it's all about the subconscious, bro. You cannot consciously understand a Pisces, bro. That ain't how it works. Because listen, while you going by what you see, that could be the illusion, bro. The Pisces could want you to see them in that same way. Because you don't even know when they're controlling you by their influence. That's the whole thing. You thinking that you're doing something and the Pisces is making you do that. The Pisces made you. See, the Pisces made you think that, oh, it was something else going on, that you was running the show. It's like, nah. See, now you acting like Tim in his construction crew. Now you just hearing about some damn gold and you just start digging just because, oh, you really think you finna find some gold. Like, nah. See, it ain't that easy. And people think Pisces are easy. They think, oh, we just spineless, like you could just come over and just do what the hell you want to do. But then you don't see the boundaries that we set. And it's like, yo, once you run into one, now you're embarrassed. See? Now you feel stupid. Now you feel like, oh, the Pisces ain't being fair. See? Could you imagine somebody run, like, they literally looking at the Pisces, they literally boat towards the Pisces, thinking that, oh, I'm going to just run over there and get some free advice. And then all of a sudden, they get hit with something that knocks them out on the floor. And it's like, yo, you can't just ask me a question, bro. Just when you feel like it, you got to set an appointment. Like, yo, I ain't just available because I look like I'm available. You got to make an appointment just like everybody else. Yeah, boundaries. It's like, yeah, you can't just come over here and just railroad and just have your way with me. No. See? But that's the thing. A Pisces can make it look like that. See? Their behavior can make it look like, oh, they're quiet, easygoing, and, oh, you see them, they could be a tax preparer. And then it's like, oh, I want my taxes done right now. That ain't how it works, bro. You got to set an appointment. And a Pisces could be extremely, just the empathy be on 10. They could be nice when they say it, but they still got boundaries. It's like they'll say it in such a way, well, honey, you got to set an appointment because I'm actually getting off work right now. You just put, here's my business card and, yeah, make an appointment and I'll check my schedule and I'll get back to you on Monday. And it's like they just break you off softly like that. And you'll be like, man, I didn't know this lady didn't just tell. I know this little lady didn't tell me, like, hey, you ain't getting it done today. It ain't going to be today. You're going to have to make an appointment. See? And that's the thing. Now, another thing is a Pisces can build invisible walls. See? Instead of verbal ones. It's cold-blooded. It's like, hey, Pisces can have all these walls up, and it's like, Okay, I'm gonna put one right here. I'm gonna put one up right here. I'm gonna put one over here. And then I'm gonna have one right here for when they walk in, right? And then a Pisces is like, doo, 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 just kick back reading a newspaper, sipping on a Starbucks coffee. And then all of a sudden people come in, they absolutely have no idea because the Pisces is not going to announce anything. They're not going to say, yeah, I put walls up for, nope. A Pisces is going to let you find out if you try to cross or overstep the boundaries. See? So that's the thing. Instead of verbal ones. Because as I said, it's a weakness to what? Explaining yourself is a weakness. Because now what you're trying to do is you're trying to get someone else's approval. It's cold-blooded. It's cold-blooded. And you thinking that the Pisces is being, weak because they're not verbalizing everything you're not supposed to. You see how the illusion bends reality? That's why Pisces knows that the illusion is stronger than reality itself. That's why you know the world is an illusion. Because the world bends reality. Everything that's going on in space has nothing to do with what is happening right now because we're in it. But funny thing is, you don't see it. And now you don't realize that everything is what? Moving while you're sitting still. And that's the thing. You can see, you got to be able to separate. You got to be able to separate everything. Remember I said you got to be able to separate the darks from the whites, right? You can't mix them and put them in the washing machine. You got to separate things. See? You got to separate the illusion from the facade. And that comes with everybody. See, when you first meet a person, do you believe the very first impression that you see of them? You're not supposed to. Nope. See, you can't really fully get to know somebody right off the first, hey, my name's the first introduction. You can't get to know somebody like that. It doesn't work like that. It takes time. See, it takes time. Because you got to understand this. If you can literally give yourself time to process, always give yourself time to process things. See? And this, another thing I always said is before you react, before you respond. See, I rather say the word respond than react, because react will be, a person getting emotional, right? But what I was gonna say is that always give yourself 24 hours. See, if you don't have an answer, you're not really sure about what you're gonna do, it's okay to give yourself time. Hey, I need about a couple of days to think about it. There's no rush. There's no rush. And the person that wants something right now, you can't have time to think about it, shows the red flag. See? And you using it as a strategy. That's just like when somebody is selling something, there's always room for negotiation. You're never supposed to go with the price that they're trying to get for it. What you want to do is negotiate. Well, hey, I see the fact that you're selling it for 700, but look here, because you had it for such a, hey, you had it for quite some time. It's not brand new. Hey, I got $650. I got $650 flat for you right now. See, by you saying it in such a way that I have the 650 right now, he's going to listen. If he wanted 700, Guess where his initial price probably is within 600 to 650. He's only saying 700 because he's trying to jump over that low ball. See, but you got to anchor. Man, let me stop. See, you got to listen, man. You have to anchor, meaning you have to open up. Listen, you got to open up conversation in the midst of trying to buy something. You meet the person at Starbucks. You get a coffee. You talk to the person. Okay, so what do you got for sale, man? Let me see it. And then you start to talk. And then when you start to, have the conversation with the person, remember I said, can I get you a sandwich? Can I get you a hot sandwich or a soda, man? Oh, yeah, I'll take a Coke, man. Oh, okay, I got you. Hey, can I get 2 Cokes on the ice? Then all of a sudden, once he takes that drink, you probably can get it for $500. He probably let it go for cheaper than what he was asking for it because you anchored him. It's cold-blooded. Y'all be like, ain't nothing that I'm talking about malicious. See, it's all about you just understanding human psychology, because people oftentimes, if they feel, listen, somebody can like you because listen, as soon as you offer to buy them something, in itself, they're going to think that, oh, hey, they're going to feel special. Like, hey, you done this for me? What? Okay, well. And then, see this is what happens. So you open up the person. Once they receive the item, they open up, see? So if there's any deception or anything, they're not even going to notice it when they unravel and show that, hey, and they might even tell on themselves. They might say something like, well, I'll tell you what, man. Yeah, my dad gave it to me and I had it for quite some time. I never drove it, but hey, I tell you, just give me $400 for it, man. But yeah, it's going to need a timing belt or something. A timing belt's kind of off. It's like, hey, he wouldn't have told you all of that had you just went off the first offer and not question it, because of the illusion. See, the illusion and the facade are always there. The illusion is that, oh, it's worth $700. Give the man what he's asking for. Hell no. Always room for negotiation. Because think about it. When somebody say, nope, I want $700 for it. Nope, I'm not taking anything less than. Okay, well, hey. Hey, good luck. Well, hey, good luck. I hope you, whatever. And then they leave, right? But they leave and go back to the drawing board, and now they're thinking about, well, hey, wait a minute. I don't want to wait till Friday. And hey, I might be sitting on this thing for a whole nother month from now. So hey, 650, I'll take it. But it's like they don't want to bite right away. See? Because they want you to be desperate. See that? But you got to act like you got all the time in the world when you're buying something, bro. Like some people think they got to hurry up and get it right now. No. See, you want to say, well, hey, I know you want 700, but hey, let me check into things and I'll get back to you on Friday. See, even though you know you ain't finna check, but it's like in your mind, you got to know how to talk to people and let them see that you're willing to move at a slower pace. Now, remember, patience breaks the structure of anything that is not what? Anything that is not genuine. It will break. It will literally collapse in front of you by you being patient. How many times have you been patient only to find out that the first choice wasn't it? Oh, hell, the second choice wasn't it. Damn, the third choice wasn't it. And the longer you wait, you end up finding out what you really want. That's because you got to do research. You got to do research on the things that you want. kids can't just go off and buy the first thing that shows itself to you. Now, another thing with a Pisces movement instead of confrontation is see, a Pisces would rather prioritize the inner peace over drama. Because the drama just keeps going. That is what gets the whole cycle started in the first place. See, that's what makes it repeat itself. Now, if a Pisces moves differently, what happens to the offender? See, what happens to the offender? As I mentioned, the mirror is right there in their face. So it makes the offender question themselves. Oh, but why would the offender question themselves? I'm going to tell you why. Because they had a hidden motive and they had hidden intentions. It's cold-blooded. See, if you ain't got no ill will intent, you wouldn't second guess yourself. See? But it only happens when the person in front of you, the Pisces, moves in a different direction that you wasn't expecting them to. Because they don't expect you to what? A person does not expect you to, leave the situation. A person, hey, that wasn't in the plans. So that's why when someone sells something to you and they want they're not thinking you're going to say no. They're not thinking that you're going to say, hey, I'll wait till Friday. They're not thinking that you're going to lowball them. That's why they get mad, bro. See, why would you get mad? Because the person took $50 off, right? You're getting mad because your game is not working. See, you want to make a profit. See? So that's the whole deal behind that. Now, another thing is the spiritual side of things and the mental processing. So here is what a Pisces goes through when I said the processing. Put it like this. It's related to spirituality. Because you got to understand that it's what you can't see, so you're not going to understand why does a Pisces need to wait. You're going to still be trying to control them. Oh, why do I have to wait? Why did it has to be Friday? You said you were going to, you said that you're going to pray about it and get back to me. What does that mean? See? And they want a definite, instant answer right now. So why does a Pisces go through the spiritual and mental process in the first place? Is because a Pisces reflects deeply, see, before deciding anything. Listen, a Pisces is the type, especially a Pisces female. A Pisces female, she research everything. She don't just go and buy the Birkin bag because it's $5,000. Nope. She'll try to catch one on sale. She will literally do the research. It's a new perfume that she wants to get. She's going to do all the, man, listen. She going to stay up and research that perfume. Hey, to the point where she going to find out everything about it first before she go buy it. Pisces don't be playing, bro. They literally check everything. And see why I said a Pisces self-reflects first. Why do people self-reflect later? Because they have hidden motives and hidden intentions. You're supposed to self-reflect before you start something. Not after. Not later. See? Now, another thing is that a Pisces will consult their dreams and their intuition for guidance. So that's the thing where you think that a Pisces is just about the physical. Nope. A Pisces can really be communicating with their dreams in this reality, something they dream about. They might actually be hearing, they could hear something from their dream to where, oh, this was in my dream. This is exactly what I such and such, right? So you don't know. You don't even know. And that's the thing. You're looking at this person, seeing them in a human body, and you don't even know like what they're thinking about, where their mind is. They literally can be somewhere totally far, cloud nine, for all you know. Now, another thing is forgiveness takes a lot of energy. So forgiveness feels like energy that what? That they can't spare to give. Because it would take more of a sacrifice. A Pisces, it will hurt. Listen, that's like a Pisces being hurt twice. Because now they got to forgive you. So now that even hurts even more because now they're giving you another chance at hurting them. See? So that's something that could be dangerous. Now, another thing is the lessons that I mentioned. So every day a Pisces meditates and prays over the very thing of lessons. Lesson being learned. You notice everything you go through in life has a lesson. You're like, yo, I'm not doing this no more. Look what happened last time. And if you don't learn those lessons, then you end up playing out the same situation. Then you're just going to be tested again and again. But when you work on the lessons, having learned it, that is better than what? Apologizing in itself. See, if you just put it like this, when you learn lessons in life, there's no room for apologies because you're not doing it again. You've learned your lesson. It only took that one time. So that's why, an apology is just it's just an excuse for the offender to attack again, to do the same thing again. If somebody cheats on you, they're going to do it again. If you give them a chance, you put their shit out just to put their shit back in the house. Now you're giving them a second chance to cheat. And they're going to cheat again. But this time they're going to be a little bit more clever about it, a little more sneakier about it. See, all you really did was show them what not to do again. But they're going to do it anyway. See, but not in the same way. Now, the problem, as a Pisces aligns themselves in a situation spiritually, as they mentally process the situation, guess what's going to come out? See? Guess what's going to come out from all of this? The karmic outcomes. Now, you see why a Pisces leaves the situation. That's your karma. See, karma, it doesn't play with anything or anyone. Nope. It comes back to get the ones that what? Deserve it. It's like, yep, I'm taking you. It's your turn. Yep, come on right now. And that's the thing why Pisces doesn't give the chance. Your karma ends up taking over. Now, a Pisces could avoid resentment because that's not going to do a Pisces any, it's not going to do them a favor. It's put it like it's not going to do them any good to hold resentment. Because as I mentioned, that's going to lead to a reaction. See, that's something that is done emotionally. Now, but what a Pisces won't do is they won't forget. So they'll forgive you, but they're not going to forget what you did. See, they ain't going to forget the actions. Now, and like I said, that's because of your energy, not your words. Now, a Pisces can transform pain. See, into personal growth. So sometimes you need to be hurt in certain areas to build strength. In other words, it's like in order to grow, you got to put more weight on the bar. See? And it hurts to lift up to something that's heavier than what you're used to. But if you actually roll with the punches, you'll be stronger. See, you'll grow. So just like with the weights, the same thing applies to the very thing of which you use pain for energy. Because we can't listen as a human, as a collective, we cannot go through this life without pain. See, now, if you ever notice a Pisces detaching from a situation emotionally, it's not that they don't care. It's all about healing themselves. See, it ain't got nothing to do with, oh, they don't care. Oh, they just want to leave the situation and avoid. Nope. It's because that is the only way for them to heal themselves. So they let the universe handle it, but when it comes to justice, they let the universe handle it. They're not going to try to get in nobody's face and try to prove something. Nope. Because it's pointless to fight. It's pointless to fight with someone over something, a disagreement, any of that, because it's emotional. See, confrontation is the birth of emotions. See, of the reaction. Two people giving reaction to each other, nobody wins. See, both become submissive to one another. And that if you wouldn't, I'm gonna tell you, the reason how you know they become submissive is because both, once they start to apologize, now you got two boys crying. See? Then you got two teenagers that are boys crying. Grown men crying. See? Because now once you start to apologize, you're not feeling anything. You're not channeling and filtering your emotions. That's why you're crying. That's why you're leaking. See? Because think about it. If you pour into something, right? You pour your energy into a cup. But what if the cup has holes in it? Now all the damn water leaks out. So a person really, if they don't if they don't go through that spiritual mental processing, they're going to end up leaking out. Because crying in the midst of a situation, a conflict, all that really shows is that you can't deal with your emotions. You cannot process how you feel. So you end up just crying and lashing out and crashing out because you do not know what to do with pain, bro. You don't know how to manage pain. Somebody offends you, you quick to go grab the pistol. You're not tough. You're not tough by going to grab the pistol. You're emotional. Because now you're not even thinking about why you're mad in the first place. You're not thinking rationally. You finna go to jail for the rest of your life after you do that. And you ain't even thinking about that. So you can't even say, boom, 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 I'm sorry. No. You had that on your mind intending to do that because you got emotional first. Emotions will make you do things to get locked up. See? And it puts you, that's why I say, if you don't handle things spiritually and do that mental processing of which I mentioned first, you'll be doing it while you're locked up. You'll be meditating, praying, doing yoga, working out, transforming pain while you're in the penitentiary. See? Only to get back out and do the same damn thing again and be tested in the same way again. But now you've been locked up for so long. Now you got to go through the same shit that put you in there. And it's all depending on how you handle the situation. How do you handle pain? And guess what starts pain? Being hurt. See? So if you don't learn how to heal, then you're going to end up being what? Killed. See what I'm saying? It's like you got to heal. Otherwise, you're going to end up being, hey, you're going to have a target on your back. Because emotions, listen, that's why a lot of people growing up was always saying, what are you crying for? I know you guys heard that before. What are you crying for? You're not crying because you're sorry. You're not crying because of this. You're crying because of what? You don't know how to handle pain. That's the point. Hey, period, point blank. And what you do is when you cry, what usually happens? You start projecting. See, and you start projecting and people can see, people will literally look at you. And now they are only focused on one thing. Why are you crying? They ain't even ask you what happened. They're saying, why are you crying? See, because that's the breaking point. That's when you know the person, you have fully gotten to the best of them. See, you've hit a weak spot. You could argue with somebody, then boom. So whoever cries first has lost. See? And it's almost like you're crying because you absorb so much pain that it poked holes in the situation. Now you're leaking out because now you have no type of defense mechanism against what happened, to where it's too much. See, it's too much pain that you don't know what to do with it. Now, another thing is that, okay, so now when it comes to self-preservation, see, you must avoid the people who triggered the traumas. See, the trauma or anything that you went through. Because like this, you can't, remember I said you cannot be up under somebody that's toxic, somebody that's constantly draining your energy, right? Now, one thing about a Pisces is that they protect their vulnerability, see? And they do it fiercely. And that's why they leave, and that's why they're ruthless about leaving. See? You cannot escape like a Pisces can. You just can't. I'm going to tell you why, because you don't know when to escape. You might leave too late. A Pisces is going to leave too early. A Pisces is going to be gone before the shit hit the fan. See? That's the thing. A Pisces will literally leave before the building blows up. And you wonder why. Oh, the Pisces took off and, hey, grabbed his suitcase and he already went to the airport. He beat us there. Then all of a sudden, boom, everything blows up. Now the Pisces is literally drinking a pina colada going across the states. Like, I wasn't finna wait for it to blow up to realize that something was wrong. My intuition told me it was time to go. I ain't gonna question it. See? Now, another thing is that a Pisces will prioritize their mental health. See? Because that's what they're protecting. Because if you let certain things get to you, that's what it would affect. It would affect your mental health. You might not you probably went to the doctor and found out some stuff about you that you didn't even know after you went through that trauma. You don't come out the same. And here's the thing. Just because somebody apologizes doesn't mean that it won't happen again. And I think that's one of the main misconceptions in life is that, oh, they said they're sorry. That doesn't guarantee it won't happen again, because behavior is learned. See, behavior is learned. So we are told if we practice, it makes perfect. Repetition. See? And it's crazy for someone to say, oh, well, I've forgiven them. Even if you forgave them, it does not always prevent repetition. Now, and I'm going to tell you why, because some apologies, if it comes from a toxic person, then the whole apology is toxic. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to do it again and again and again. See? So it feels like more of a performance rather than, oh, I'm sorry, right? So be careful with that. If you are receiving apologies from someone that's toxic, just know that the whole apology in itself is a toxic apology, and don't buy it. Now, you have to cut off emotional leeches. Remember I said, if you actually tolerate someone's toxic energy, it would affect you, see? And that's why you have to reject it. Now, just know another thing is that why would a Pisces distance themselves from such a person, right? It's because that's the only way to get away from negativity, is you have to distance yourself. You have to separate. See? You have to separate the darks from the lights, right? So you got to you have to go move in way over there where that person with the negative energy, he can't reach you or she can't reach you. Therefore, that energy cannot affect you, can't influence you, can't deceive you, can't manipulate you, can't draw the illusion, can't draw the facade. No, nothing. See? Simply can't get to you. Now, what a Pisces will do when they forgive and forget is the fact that they will forgive externally. See? So what that does is it protects a Pisces internally. It's like, yeah, I forgive you on the outside of things. I'm not going to come and fight you. I'm not going to come after you. But guess what? Internally, I'm protecting myself. See? So that's the way a Pisces does it. That's why I say a Pisces is unorthodox. Pisces ain't doing it the way that you're used to people doing things. They're so much more creative about it and unpredictable. Now, a Pisces remembers your actions, see, not just your words. So a Pisces is paying attention to everything, what you're saying and what you're thinking. See, because you got to understand that the eyes, the face of a person is considered the mask. See, so most people, how they want you to see them is they're going to try to wear it first, see, in order for you to buy it or for you to receive it or for you to accept it. And the way a person thinks, that's coming from the illusion, see, because you got to understand, if someone thinks something subconsciously, then that's going to show clearer than any other situation that they got going on, even how they appear to be. See, because you could think that let's say a person thinks they're a superhero subconsciously. They're gonna be, listen, that the illusion gonna be on 10, because they're gonna start showing that. They're gonna start showing you what they can do or what they're capable of doing, but it's not gonna seem like the human, like a regular human being type of behavior. If that makes sense. That's why some people, if they don't get that stuff checked in, it affects their mental health. See? And I'm going to tell you why, because it's not realistic. It's like a person has to be realistic with themselves. They got to be real with themselves. They can't do something that is not realistic and then expect people to accept it. See? Now, when it comes to the non-traditional justices, well, a Pisces will believe karma over the regular way of doing things in life. See, some people just look at the whole carnal, hey, you know, you do this, then hey, the law and whatnot. But a Pisces believes the karma and the cosmic balance that handles the wrongs and the rights. See? So that's why a Pisces doesn't have to get revenge. Now, they also don't need confrontation to feel validated. Nope. They can move on in that silence. And that's, see, you got to understand, moving on is the silent revenge. Moving on, that means that you reclaim your power and then you move on. See? You're not anchored to the person at all. They don't control your movements. Now, a Pisces also will focus on personal growth instead of grudges. See? Because that's how you self-destruct. Now, a Pisces will allow the consequences to unfold naturally in the situation as well. See, it's so crazy because there's consequences to every action. From every, not action, but the word I was looking for is that to every single thing you do in life regarding decisions, there's consequences. See, if you do something wrong, even if it's, you know, not your fault, you still have consequences. You accidentally run something over, depending on what it is, hey, consequences is consequences, right? Now, a Pisces would rather move themselves instead of arguing with someone. And see, the thing is that you can't just invest your energy into anyone or anything, because especially when you're trying to prove a point, it's not good to do that. Now, another reason why a Pisces would leave a situation is because they outgrow the situation in its entirety. They're just done with the whole situation. And that's powerful because most people can't do that because of repetition. They get used to the whole routine of, you know, they get used to the routine of things. Now, let's talk about the emotional boundaries, okay? Because when a Pisces detach without explaining why, that's considered setting the emotional boundaries. See? Now, a Pisces knows not to fall for the drama of a situation because they have to get the lesson. And see, that's why they don't seek drama. You see, to teach lessons, it's like they just know when to leave, when to wash their hands from a situation that no longer serves them. Hey, they're just gonna move on. They're not gonna sit there and try to go through the drama. Now, because if you go through the drama, you're going through the illusion. Another thing is the Pisces won't express their anger directly. And that's why you're not able to tell whether or not the Pisces is angry. You know, you're not able to tell whether or not they're angry or not. Now, another thing is when it comes to the wisdom, all right? Now, one thing about wisdom is a lot of people don't use it. Just like common sense, a lot of people don't use common sense. And here's the thing. When somebody's wise, they do things that other people, it's like they can't even grasp it, right? They can't even figure out, like, For instance, if a Pisces look at a situation, they could literally analyze behavior as if they were a doctor or, somebody that just, they could just literally catch on and understand things faster, right? Now, they might not even respond to anyone, a text message, whatever, because they've already analyzed the behavior of that person. See, it's cold-blooded. And it's like, people might say, well, how do you know that? How do you know that? It's just wisdom. See, it's just like forgiveness. You're supposed to forgive, but you don't have to rerun it back again. No. That's wisdom, because the person is bound to hurting you again. They've already proved it to you. Now, a lot of times, see, like Virgo, for instance, Virgo is very analytical and always looks at the details of a situation. And that gives them more, to criticize about based off those details. But here's the thing. Like a Pisces remembers details most people forget. It's like somebody, God forbid, someone does a drive-by shooting, and the Pisces got the make and model of the vehicle and some more ish. It's like a person may not even have paid attention to all of that. They just knew it was a drive-by, but they didn't get all the little fine details like the Pisces did. And here's another thing. Sometimes when you're in a situation that put it like this, that involves passive aggressiveness, because this is another one, is that some people will revert. Now, see, this is why, okay, let me get a drink of water, you guys. So, okay, so here's the thing. You got people now. Some people hide the fact they're angry, and then they like to be like passive aggressive, but it doesn't always work, because it actually is joined together with lies. Now, a Pisces will catch on to this. When a Pisces break away from a situation, they seeing all these things. It's not like they're just focused on one thing. See, so as they observe, they can see like what's the best thing to do in a situation. Like I say, they value lessons over grudges. It's all about the lesson, because listen, once you learn the lesson, now you can go teach other people and say, yo, don't do this because this will happen. See, I've been through it already. Now, the craziest thing is that through all these experiences and lessons, what is the ultimate goal? What is the point of all this? And I'm going to tell you what it is. It's basically because of clarity. See, if you have clarity, making clear of everything that happens, or most things that happen, it's all through the experiences. You see things for what they truly are. And that's why I say when a Pisces doesn't fool with you, it's because they know you. They know you. They know the behavior. They've seen it before. They've experienced it before. See, the past lives. So that's why when the Pisces just leave the way they leave, with no closure, no nothings, because they already dealt. It's like they've already been with you before. They recognize you already off the top. Because you want to know what's crazy? Okay, so when we look at signs and we see a Sagittarius, from one Sagittarius to the next Sagittarius, they have similar traits. Of course, they're not the same, but they do this. They have the same behaviors. So that's why I said, like, when you look at a situation and you realize through those experiences, you go through the same test, you go through the same test in life, and it's like it's from different people, but it's almost like you're dealing with the same person. It's like, and a lot of times you think you might forget that, or you might think like, oh well, it's a new person, and hey, they're not the same, but they can do the same exact thing. See, and they be like, that's what people be like, yo, you act just like somebody I hate, right? Here's the funny part. So when it comes to just the whole mere fact of forgiveness, okay, what is it seen as? Remember I said you got to eat your vegetables first before you can have cake, right? Or ice cream. So basically what happens here is that forgiveness is like a luxury sometimes. Like how would it be just to have so many how would it be just to have so many people that forgave, and hey, the world was made like that? That would be a complete luxury. Because you got to think, people are not literally that damn easygoing to just give you another chance. They not, no. See, and here's the thing. Why? I'm gonna tell you in a nutshell. See, Pisces are emotionally intelligent. See, so they could process pain mentally, and you thinking that it's gonna be physically, but no, they could do that mentally, and they could do it maturely. See, to where it's almost like they can handle it as like a grown, you know how they say a grown man, they can handle it in such a way, and it's like, yo, you pretty much handled that situation like a mature individual. And that's why I say you won't get, you don't always get the credit, but people do see you, Pisces. Like, people do see how you do things. They just don't want to give you the credit because it makes them look bad. It makes them feel like, oh, they don't measure up. Another thing a Pisces will not do is rush reconciliation. Nope. Another thing is why a Pisces doesn't give closure. Because I'll say this, what a Pisces doesn't want to do is give false closure. See, that's why they must process things first before they actually act on it. And before they actually, if they were to give closure, they want to make sure they're being honest about it. Now, here's another thing. Okay, so a Pisces would rather forgive themselves before others, before anyone else does it. So see, this is crazy. That's why a lot of Pisces work in the mental health, field, because Pisces understands behaviors, movements, see, reality, logic, the details, practicality. But a Pisces, one thing about a Pisces is they avoid enabling behavior. See, they're not the type of person that's the baby somebody, make excuses for somebody and whatnot. So a lot of times a Pisces just takes their time and looks at the situation as a whole. Let me see. Yeah, I hear you, Joe. I mean, yeah, you gotta listen to your intuition, because like, it's very easy though. It's not hard. Like, a lot of people think their intuition is like impossible to understand or hear from it. But your body reacts first. That's, put it like this. That's the one thing that you gotta remember, is your body reacts first. So when your intuition is speaking to you, it's going to come through your stomach. See, your stomach, you may feel a tightness in your chest regarding a decision. You might start sweating. You might start feeling like uneasy, you might feel like just fainting, or it's those things that your body is trying to tell you something is off. And you wonder why. You might get goosebumps. You might start feeling like throwing up. You might, keep going to the toilet, nothing comes out. It's because your intuition is trying to get your attention. See? And your body goes through those reactions in order to do so. Because you will listen, and once you don't feel too easy, you pretty much will either go lay down, take some medicine, but you will sit still. And then that's what the intuition wants. It's like, yo, I need your full undivided attention. And then it shows you exactly what's going on. And the more you actually hone in on it, you start to feel even more nauseous. And that lets you know that, hey, that means you can't go in that direction. See? Now, yeah, definitely, Joe, we get hard-headed. We get hard-headed because we don't like to keep, like, one thing about it is that we know that it's going to take a lot of pain. Sometimes we get comfortable, or we feel like, yo, I don't want to really, we want to take a break. We want to take a day off of the intuition, and that's not how it works. So like, sometimes you can feel like, oh, I've been, everything throughout the week has been off the chain, or just been too much. Because remember I said, one of the major overload. And that happens when you take time aside or distance yourself from bad energy or from the wrong people. Now, here's another thing, okay? So there's guilt, and then there's growth. And a Pisces would rather focus on growth than guilt, because guilt leads to self-sabotage. Now, the reason why, another thing I would say is a Pisces will always protect their energy before their feelings, but they still process both. They just separate them. Now, when it comes to moving different, see, a Pisces will move differently than how they used to, because now they want to shift their focus to self-love after being hurt. They may channel their energy into creativeness, seek out spiritual pursuits. And they do this because, listen, when you take time aside for yourself, you actually start to, you just like, you feel better. You focus on, like, put it like this. If a Pisces woman gets hurt, she might all of a sudden start, she can start seeking spiritual pursuits where she might start going to church. She might start, going to Bible study. She might start doing things differently than how she was doing it before. And I'm gonna tell you, it's because now he or she may have realized that they gotta channel their energy, see, into those creative situations. Yes, self-love comes, you gotta have self-love, because because nobody's coming to save you, if that makes sense. Like, you gotta love yourself enough to, take care of yourself, to do certain things, to work, all those things. Now, when a Pisces is moving different, another thing happens is they stop expecting apologies. See? And put it like this, when they actually do get an apology, that's why sometimes a Pisces actually freezes, or they really don't understand it, because it's like, well, what are you doing this for, right? Now, going back to the patience thing, as I mentioned, patience is a virtue. It's because when you're patient, you're able to It's like you're able to see everything, the whole book, the whole picture. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, I know what I was trying to say. Now, so by being patient, you let time reveal itself. See, and it happens naturally. It's not like you're trying to do something on your own. So it's like you just let time reveal itself. And when you're patient, that's exactly what happens. It actually, everything that's not built right, everything that's not flowing right is pretty much like this. It will actually show itself because you're being patient. Now, another slogan that Pisces may follow is actions speak louder than words. And this is why I said you must maintain self-control. Is that when you maintain self-control, it's almost like you're maintaining your dignity, right? Without confrontation. Without confrontation. Because listen, if a person sees that you're not emotional or emotionally driven, they start to respect you. And you can't get respect by simply asking for it. You can't get respect without a person fully processing the very thing that they're seeing. See? And that's why I say it's like people don't look at the core principles. They think that respect is earned. No, it's not. See, only time a person looks at, put like this, the only time a person respects you is how you handle a situation. It's like, oh, that person had, was in, basically, put it like this, that person wasn't getting, aggressive and whatnot, right? It's on how you handle the situation, maintaining your dignity. Now, another thing that a lot of people fail to realize is that a Pisces is able to change fluidity. See, they can change the way they respond. They can change their emotions. It's cold-blooded. And another thing that a Pisces can do, as they see potential in relationships, friendships, is they can redefine relationships by what? By distancing themselves, not with anger. See, because anger is an emotion. Now, see, another thing about forgiveness is it's a gift. It's not something that, you can take for granted. In other words, it's like a luxury. So why would a Pisces move differently in the first place? Is to preserve energy and let life sort things out. As I mentioned, you must separate things. You can't do everything all at once. And this is what leaves the offender offended. It leaves the offender. I drink some more. My freaking mouth getting super just dry, you guys. Yeah, so this is why I say you got to separate the darks from the lights, okay? It's because that's what happens when a Pisces move differently. They preserve their energy. They let life sort things out for them to where they don't have to engage. They don't have to reply. There is no reaction. See? And guess what? By Pisces behaving in such a way, it alleviates confrontation every single time. Now, let me see what else I got. Okay, so now you guys know, okay? Now you guys know the whole thing behind the forgiveness, like I say, how it's used, how it's supposed to be. And I want to thank everybody for coming out to the live. I'll catch y'all tomorrow, back with another live. I love y'all. Catch y'all next one. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Oh.